If anybody happens to join me, do tell me, okay? Write in the comments. I'm trying to open the live video in here. Yeah, I can see this. Alright, I can hear myself too. Okay, so far nobody has joined, right? So I have another phone and I can see myself in here. I think it's reconnecting. So if anybody happens to join, inform me please. Okay, so far so good. Oh, 5 people directly have joined the chat. Excellent. So what are we gonna do? We have I have a session of Islamic quiz for you. I'm watching myself over here, so I can watch your. I can look at your comments. So uh, let's just start with easy questions so that you can start to participate. So I always do this. Ask very easy questions in the beginning. Uh, so let's say there is a surah in the Quran. Okay, how many surah in the Quran, enumerate them, are named after a synonym of Day of Judgment? Okay, for example, Suratul Qiyamah. So think about more. Are there any more surat which are named after synonyms of the Day of Judgment? I cannot so far see any comments. I'm sweating, okay, I'm sweating, just leave it, alright? I'm sweating. I'm not so good right now. Anyways, I have done some heavy work right now, that's why I'm sweating. So, how many surah of the Quran are named after the Day of Judgment? Just name any surah that is named after the Day of Judgment other than Suratul Qiyamah. Name any other. I gave you one example of Suratul Qiyamah. Try to name more surah of the Quran which are named after the Day of Judgment. I'm looking downward because I'm trying to find out if you are giving the answers. Okay. Surah Mulk. Do you think that Surah Mulk is named? Do you understand the question? Mulk is not a synonym of the Day of Judgment. Okay, the Day of Judgment is called Qiyamah. So Suratul Qiyamah is one answer. For example, the Day of Judgment is called as Akhirah. So if there was a surah called Suratul Akhirah, that would have been another answer. But there is no, not any such surah. I said I will ask easy question, but I asked quite a tough question, right? Okay. All right. I don't see any answer so far. Should I change the question and ask later on? Should I ask easier question in the beginning? Huh? How many surah are there in the Quran? Surah Hashr. Very good. That's one very good answer. It was not in my mind. Surah Hashr is Suratul Hashr is one of the right answers. In my mind was Suratul Ghashiyah, Suratul Waqi'ah, Suratul Qari'ah, right? And what more? I think that's it. Surah Inshiqaq. No, Inshiqaq is okay. Surah Inshiqaq. Yeah, right. Surah Inshiqaq. I for once thought Surah Inshara. Right. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Surah Inshiqaq. Surah Hashr is correct. 114 surah are there in the Quran. That is correct. Um, all right. Now let's see what can be the next easy question to begin with. I generally end with this question always because nothing is coming to my mind. So how many ayat are there in the Quran? And if again people reply with that wrong answer, it will be bad. How many ayat are there in the Quran? Total number of ayat in the Quran. People always happen to answer wrong. Somebody comes and says a wrong answer. Always. A particular wrong answer. Muhammad Shaban, why did you delete 114? I had asked how many surah are there in the Quran. You answered 114 correctly. Why did you delete your answer? Yeah, Surah Hashr is one of the right answers for how many? It's not against Islamic truths to assume that there is more to the universe than just our planet, and we know not everything. Right? I think you are asking a question. 4285 is Quran definitely has more than 6,000 ayats. It is not against Islamic truths to assume that there is more to our universe than just our planet. You mean you are asking about the aliens, right? I believe I don't believe. I know aliens exist. What are Hur? Hur are in the living in the Jannah. They are right at this moment. You are asking about Mr. I can't pronounce your name. It's in another language. You are asking about do aliens exist? So my answer is that what are Hur? Okay, they are on in Jannah in the seventh sky. They are living over there, copies of us, right? They look like humans from what we assume. They might not as well, but from what we assume, they look like humans. They have been described by as living creatures, and I call them aliens. Okay, it's just that they haven't visited us. By the way, Hur can see us as well when Allah Subhanahu wa Taala wishes. So these aliens can see us as well. I there is no problem in believing if somebody believes that that aliens exist. There is no problem in it. That was to answer your question. Okay, now what was the question? I asked how many surah, how many ayat are there in the Quran in total. There is no problem in deleting the wrong answers. I mean, there is no problem in if you leave the wrong answers. There's no problem in it. We all are here to learn. Okay, there you might ask me many things that I do not know. In the last session, one of the people asked me a question that I did not know the answer to. It's okay, no problem. Why are you deleting your answers? 6336. You are 100 ayat off, but 6236 is the right answer. Many people happen to say 6666 whenever I ask that how many ayat are there in the Quran. Nobody answered that this time. It's good. I think I should lower the level of the questions I'm asking. Let me ask. Okay, from Sirah. At what age Prophet Muhammad attained prophethood? Easy. Okay, I cannot go easier than this. Do I have a favorite Sahabi? Oh my goodness. I think that that is a I used to, I mean I still do like, but once upon a time obviously everybody's favorite Sahabi is Umar ibn al-Khattab. So my favorite Sahabi too was Umar ibn al-Khattab. And there is so much information. When I said once upon a time, it means now I do not have a favorite name. But once upon a time, he inspired me a lot. Before that, Bilal ibn Rabi'ah. I mean, when I was introduced to Islam in the beginning, very beginning, then my name is Saad. So Saad ibn Waqqas, my father told him about him, so that was one of my inspirations. But I didn't know anything about him except that he was a family member of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Sahabi. Bilal ibn Rabi'ah was the first one whose stories I heard. By the way, I watched The Message and the movie The Message, and I saw Bilal ibn Rabi'ah in it. Obviously, the candidate, the person playing that character in it, and I was very impressed. I was moved by it. So later on, when I started studying Islam, then Umar ibn al-Khattab was the one. Now, if you ask me, I mean, who is your favorite Sahabi is not a question I can reply to. I mean, on my channel there are 3 videos that are titled top 10, even though they are top 5 because part 1, part 2, and part 3. So top 5 or top 10. One is top 10 and another is top 5. Inspirations derived from Sahaba, and it is like number 9 Fatima bint Muhammad radiyallahu anhu sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number 1 I had put Hassan bin Sabit radiyallahu anhu, because I felt that he is someone from whom I can relate to very much. I think the video is working fine today. My internet connection is good. Generally, my internet connection is very bad. Your favorite Sahabi is Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Of course, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, his iman the consolidator of the ummah, right? When the whole of the ummah, not whole of the ummah, but the Arabia uh, had, I mean, Saudi Arabia, it's not Saudi Arabia, but the Arabia would have been under civil war. It did go under civil war, to be honest, during the caliphate of Abu Bakr, but he was the one who consolidated the ummah. If you remove him, literally, Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah said, remove remove this person Abu Bakr from history, and there is no Islam. Okay, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Islam wouldn't have come to us as it is today, because immediately after his death, people revolted. So yes, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, his um, to be honest, to be very honest, the blessings of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is even upon the Shia. Okay, because they too, there would be no caliphate of Ali radiallahu anhu even if there was not no Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. If you think properly about it, what would have happened during that consolidation? Everybody is writing 40. Now I remember that I had asked a question that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at what age he achieved prophethood, and Muhammad Shaban is the first one to reply in the month of Shawwal. Excellent. Shaban is coming. You should come next month to meet me. I answered this time 6K approximately, and you laughed. Last time, you mean? Yeah. Yeah. I'm laughing again. Do you have a favorite Sahabi? Does it hurt when someone says he is an infidel? Does it hurt when you does it hurt you when someone says he is an infidel? Who is an infidel? About whom are you asking? Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu? Does it hurt me when I hear that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is an infidel? Once upon a time, I used to get hurt. Now I don't. I don't get hurt when somebody says that. I live in a land of non-Muslims. I am habituated to hearing bad words from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These Shia are no, these Shia are not saying anything. I mean, far worse things are being said by other people. So I'm not living in a land where I could get hurt so easily. But obviously, I don't like it and I don't want it. If I could do anything, I would have done it. But I cannot do that. Life has to go on, okay? You cannot just feel hurt upon each and every statement of other. See, if there is an Islamic state, if there is an Islamic land, then yes, of course, it is prohibited by law to abuse or call Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu an infidel. Yes, but look upon the land you are living, look upon the law you are living under, look upon the visa and passport you are signing upon. Okay, these are treaties that you are signing with your country. So follow the laws of the country. You cannot just feeling hurt is a sentiment that you can, but if you keep getting hurt, then I mean, you have to rise above it. You have to rise. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would get hurt, right? He would feel bad when people would abuse Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. What would he do? Okay, obviously in the war times things happened, but generally, what would he do? So, what is the point of feeling hurt every time somebody abuses another Sahabi? If you can clarify, if you can discuss with the person, it's most welcome. If he's abusing and saying he's a kafir, he's an infidel, just go away, just move away, leave it. Shakir Khan Rahmani, I hope your son can understand what I'm saying. Brother Shakir, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam became a prophet at the age of 40. Next question. Okay, tell me about the once upon a time adopted son of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who later on became simply a brother of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I mean, a brother in Islam. So once upon a time he was adopted by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam until the law of Islam prohibited it. So that is the question. Tell me the name of an adopted son of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Though later on the Sharia came and it said that do not call your adopted sons as your sons. one of the persons said, I meant about Abu Bakr, you mean? I meant just if someone says he does not believe, means Abu Bakr, okay, that person does not believe in what the holy book says. Okay, if someone says that he does not believe in what the Quran, what the holy book is saying, it is his belief. Lakum deenukum waliyadeen, la ikraha fid deen. What can I say? What can I do? I mean, if you are ready to talk about it, I am going to talk about it. Come, I will prove to you that this book is the holy book of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you are rigid upon it, what can I do? I will say nothing about it. Zaid bin Haritha is the right answer, I'm sorry. Zaid bin Haris. Zaid bin Haris. Everybody writes Zaid bin Haris. He's actually Zaid bin Haritha. If the sealed nectar is to be believed. At least the sealed nectar calls him Zaid bin Haritha. But far too many people have called him Zaid bin Haris. I do not know from where this Zaid bin Haris has come. I do not know if Zaid bin Haris and bin Haritha both names are correct or not. But at least the sealed nectar, Rahiq al-Makhtoom calls him Zaid bin Haritha. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Yeah, amma doesn't this imply that we need a state on this planet where Allah's Sharia established? Obviously, where there is mujahideen who fight to protect the name of the Prophet and the honor of the Sahaba. There is no khilafah right now on this earth, a legitimate khilafah. There is no jihad, no legitimate jihad until the khilafah is established. If you want to do anything for the ummah, the best thing right now to do is to unite the ummah. There can be no united khalifa unless there is a political unity in the ummah. Most of us are not in the situation, not capable to do that. If you take law of any Muslim or non-Muslim country in your hand, believe me, it is not doing any good. Yes, you should ask your own local scholars about it. The local scholars can inform you better about the situation if it is any, for example, revolting at a place. Okay, I don't know if you are living in a country in Nigeria, or I mean, Nigeria just here. I wanted to say Africa. If you are living in a country in Africa, you are living somewhere in Balkans. I do not know the situation of that land. If your scholars are calling you, go with them. If your scholars are warning you against any revolt, don't revolt. That's what I have to say. For the land of these Arab nations and the South Asian nations, I can say that it's no good to revolt right now aggressively. It's no good to revolt. If you want to create a ground, first create the ground of unity. Political unity is needed, and unity can go two ways. Either it can go from above, the ruler is going to say that everyone will above to below, or it can go from below to above. We people can unite, we can find some common grounds, and then we can, when we will be united, then it will go upwards. It has to go upwards. The rulers will have to adjust according to it. So it even though it is very far-fetched, it's very tough right now. What can I say? This unity, for this unity to be achieved, Rasulullah said, once the sword is unsheathed, it will never be. Once the sword is unsheathed, it will never be sheathed again among this ummah. Means one Muslim fighting another. This fighting will go on. What can I say right now? Doesn't this imply Zaid bin Haritha, Zaid bin Haris, Zaid bin Haris, have you ever met in your life any Ahle Quran rejector? How to discuss with them? I run a YouTube channel, and for example, today only in one of my videos, one person was, I was talking about the science of day of judgment, and a person came and said that where does the Quran talk about this malhama you are talking about? Where does the Quran talks about this, the great war? I said the Quran does not talk about it. So how to talk to them? it depends from person to person. That person immediately acknowledged that he said, I appreciate you, that you accepted that the Quran does not talk about Malhama. I said, yes, the Quran does not talk about Malhama, the great way. It's a fact. Now you reject hadith. First of all, my topic was back then the sign of the day of judgment. If the signs of the day of judgment are coming true, which are from the hadith, it means the hadith has to have some certainty. Once upon a time, I didn't used to believe that there is a Allah. Okay? Means agnosticism. I was a child. And then Dr. Zakir Naik's videos were being played, and he said that Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu name is written in the textbook of the Bhavishya Puran, one of the Hindu scriptures. I said, yeah, Bhavishya Puran, when was it written? I Google searched it. I found out that it was written before the coming of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I said, if there is a prophecy before Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then this Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has to be a prophet. That was the first time in my childhood. I was like in class 7th or something. The first time in my life, I said, yeah, God does exist with certainty, because there cannot be a prophecy unless there is a God. Similarly, if the hadith is saying something and it has come true, it means there is some truth to hadith, right? I was talking about the science of day of judgment back then, how these hadiths are talking about the science of day of judgment, and these signs are coming true, and the person is coming and saying, where does it say in the Quran? Man, these signs are coming true right now from the hadith. Means hadith, there is some truth to hadith, right? Okay, anyways, there are different ways you can tackle it. I know these are not exactly new fitna, but though I'm not an expert in this topic. And how was the Khalifa of Islam, how was the Khilafah of Islam rather, established in the beginning? With peaceful da'wah and dua? No, definitely no. With jihad fi sabilillah. The common ground is Allah, His Prophet, and Sharia. Isn't this enough? How was I will answer your question. How was the Khilafah of Islam established in the beginning? What was done in the Meccan phase? What was done in the Meccan phase? 13 years, what was being done? Once there was some kind of support, some kind of unity, some kind of hope present in Medina, then jihad, legitimate jihad was done. And then what was Treaty of Hudaybiyah? What was Treaty of Hudaybiyah? If Treaty of Hudaybiyah was not done, Quraysh would have been over far before, 3 years before. Why did Treaty of Hudaybiyah took place? Because it was taken as an opportunity for da'wah, right? So both things goes hand in hand. You cannot, when I say both things go hand in hand, ground has to be created for any structure. You can start with jihad, but it will not be a foundation upon which you can build Islam, upon which you can build the caliphate. It will not be a foundation. You have to have a ground first. Be practical too. Anyways, but this debate can go on and on. Whether individual elaborate on which stage are we standing now, essential or not. I do not know what stage are you talking about. Maybe you are talking about something I missed. And how was the Khilafah established? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bond bhaiya. Imran Hussain, instead of going into details, I would like you to focus on quiz. Well, the title of this video was "You can ask questions too." So if people are asking questions, I do not have a problem with that. And when people are not asking questions, then I will ask you questions. So because you said there are a lot of videos on YouTube to learn about Islam in detail, so please quiz. Okay. What was my last question? I forgot. In which year did the Hijrah to Abyssinia was performed? That's my next question. Hijrah to Abyssinia, that was the first Hijrah, right? In which year was it performed? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Iconic. Your name is very iconic, by the way. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. Okay. Also, bro, what Mu'tazila think about the return of Prophet Isa? Mu'tazila were rejectors of Sunnah. Okay, they did not believe in the return of the Isa alayhi salam, and they were, by the way, At that time, even Shia and Sunni both were uniting and saying Isa will come back, but Mu'tazila did reject the coming of Isa al-Islam because Mu'tazila only believed in mutawatir ahadith, and according to them, mutawatir is when 20 of the people who adhere to the kalam of Mu'tazila say that this hadith is a hadith Prophet ﷺ, then that hadith is a hadith. That was the aqidah of Mu'tazila. So 20 people of the Mu'tazili have to be the narrator of one same hadith, one same matan, then that hadith becomes sahih according to Mu'tazila. Very few hadith became sahih in front of them. That's why Mu'tazila did not believe in the return of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. My question was, in what year did the migration to Abyssinia happen? The first migration of Islam, the first migration prescribed by Islam from Mecca to Abyssinia, Habasha. What year did it happen? What year? I do not want to. What year of prophethood? I mean, first year of prophethood, second year of prophethood, third year of prophethood, or you say in before Hijri, howsoever you want to say it. Probably fourth year of Islam. I wanted to hear fifth year, but I will accept fourth year as well. The fourth year was when the torture actually began. The physical torture of the slaves actually began, and the death of Sumayya and Yasir might have happened in fourth year. So what I believe is fifth year. In fifth year, the migration happened. Now you confused me actually by saying fourth year, because the order of migration happened right after the death of Sumayya and Yasir, radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. So you confused me. No, I think it is fifth year, but I will go with my memory. 6 years before Hijrah to Medina. That's wrong. Migrated to Abyssinia. That's wrong because there were 13 years in Mecca. According to one opinion, there were only 10 years in Mecca, but the more stronger opinion is 13 years in Mecca and 10 years in Medina. So 13 years in Mecca, 6 BH is only 7. So no, definitely not. Please share some of your early life experiences, like your school life or college life, or from where did you do your education? Sorry, please. In the name of historical figure Saladin, widely recognized among the Arabs. Is the name of the historical figure Salah? Obviously, Salahuddin al-Ayyubi is one of the most famous military commanders ever in history. When you know the name of one of the Arabs, while you are a non-Arab, then the Arabs definitely know it. It's common sense. Arabs definitely know the name of Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. Egyptians know Salahuddin al-Ayyubi like they know the names of their fathers. Arabs do know, and they know him as a Shafi'i follower, the follower of the Shafi'i fiqh. So they have no problem with him. They are not taught that he belonged to the Ash'ari creed, which the Arabs are generally, Saudi Arabia is generally opposed to, but they are not taught it, so they respect Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. I would ask you the next question from the Sirat. In which year after the Hijrah, how many years after the Hijrah, the people of Abyssinia were called back to Medina? Let me give you a hint. It happened right at the victory of Khaybar. So the battle of Khaybar was over, and Ja'far came on the same day. Ja'far was the leader of the Ja'far radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Ja'far bin Abi Talib, came back on the same day. When I do not say radiyallahu anhu with the name of a Sahabi, it does not mean I am being disrespectful to him. It is not fard to say radiyallahu anhu with his name. And when there is a lecture, I mean, it's obvious that many times someone may miss radiyallahu anhu. But with the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is fard. But with Sahabi radiyallahu anhu is not first. So if I miss it, it does not mean I am being disrespectful. Please forgive me. Third year? No, definitely not. Third year? No. 8th year of prophethood. Not prophethood. Listen to the question again. It happened in the Medinian phase. So the people of Abyssinia went to Abyssinia. The people of Mecca, some people of Mecca went to Abyssinia, migrated to Abyssinia. My question is, when were they asked to return back, not to Mecca, but to Medina? They didn't return back to Mecca. Migration happened meanwhile, many years later, about 10 years later, they returned back. Okay, I said 10 years later. but more than 10 years later. It happened in the 6th year of Hijrah. So 6 AH. Okay, 6th year of Hijrah was the victory of Khaybar. Okay, 5th year of Hijrah was the victory of Ahzab. Once Ahzab was dealt with, it was obvious that these Quraysh are now gone. They cannot come and attack us again. Then Prophet Muhammad looked towards the Jews. The next threat to Medina was the Jews of Khaybar. So he attacked on Khaybar. Once Khaybar was dealt with, Prophet Muhammad, while dealing with Khaybar, he called the people of Abyssinia that come back now. Why? Why didn't he call the people of Abyssinia before? Those migrants, Muslims, Sahaba from Mecca. Why didn't he call them before? It said that Prophet Muhammad, one of the opinions is that he had a backup in Abyssinia. He had a backup in Abyssinia. Okay, like if this state of Medina fails, I'm gonna have a backup over there. So he had a backup. This is one of the opinions and famous opinion, the most famous opinion. Okay. Did you stop teaching Arabic grammar, the grammar in Telegram? Arabic grammar in Telegram has been completed. Okay, I'm teaching Arabic grammar on YouTube right now. Converting those Telegram lessons into video lessons on YouTube right now. The next question I will ask you is, in which year of Hijrah was hijab formulated? The same year alcohol was banned as well. Okay, this is an important point. You should know this, that in which year hijab was formulated, because this is going to help you when you read that, okay, such and such Prophet Muhammad went and saw such and such woman. Then you are going to know, okay, hijab had not been formulated in this year, so this event must have taken place before it or after it, depending upon the situation. So it helps us in contextualizing the ahadith. Reading the context, we can say that, okay, this hadith must have taken place in this period or in this period. In which year hijab was formulated, hijab was made first in Islam? 6th year, 6th year of the Hijrah to Medina. That's correct. In fact, it happened in the last month of the fifth year. And if you say 6th year, it's okay as well. Very last, at the very end of the 5th year. Right after not right after, but means in the 5th year, the Jews, the Ahzab happened, the Quraysh were taken care of, the Jews of Medina were taken care of, the next year the Jews of Khaybar are going to be taken care of. So that was a time when alcohol had been prohibited and hijab had been prohibited. These were one of the last Shari'i rulings other than Hajj. Hajj is still to be, Hajj hadn't come until the victory of Mecca. So, okay. Is it? Has the video gone? Am I live? Okay, I don't. Okay, it's okay. So, what's next that I can ask? From Meccan phase or Medinan phase, or let me go to the history of. How about first? Let me be easy with you. Name any tabi'i, one tabi'i, any tabi'i, the follower of Sahabi. Anyone tabi'i's name I want to know. Ka'b bin Ashraf, the assassination of Ka'b bin Ashraf. Is it my internet problem over here or internet problem over there? Because can you tell me that if I am online right now or there's buffering is happening right now? Can you tell me if buffering is happening right now? Am I online or is it buffering? If I'm online, please reply to the question. What was my question? Yeah, name anyone tabi'i. I want to listen to the name of anyone tabi'i. Anyone tabi'i. Tabi'i, you understand? A student of a sahabi. Okay, who can say? Chalo, alhamdulillah, means problem is over here. I'm reading your comments over here and it was buffering over here. Can you name one tabi'i? Tabi is the follower of a Sahabi. For example, I will not take any name. For example, there is a Sahabi, Umar ibn al-Khattab, or Abdullah ibn Umar. He had one very famous Tabi, but I do not expect you to know his name. He is related to Hadith. Uh, Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, many famous Sahabi, many famous Tabi come from him. Hassan al-Basri, I was expecting this name. He is the most famous Tabi, okay? Hassan al-Basri. Alright. Adil Khan, impressive. What is the difference between munafiq and fasiq? Fasiq is a terminology that first appeared. If you know who were Mu'tazila explained that uh, people who are not disbelievers, not kafir, but they are committers of major sins. They are called fasiq. Now, Mu'tazila used this word fasiq for them, but they also added, they were a deviant sect, they also added a ruling for them that they will neither go to Jannah nor go to Jahannam, but at an elevated place, or they will become dust, various opinions. Other Sunni Orthodox, Sunni Muslims took the word fasiq from them. Okay, they took the word fasiq from them, but they removed the problematic issue. That they didn't say fasiq will not go to Jannah or Jahannam, or they did not say that fasiq will become dust, like the animals will become dust on the day of judgment. So they just said that fasiq is a Muslim who commits major sin. That's all. So if you are a Muslim and you lie, you are a habitual liar. I'm not talking to anyone particular. If you are a Muslim and you are habitual leaver of salah, okay, you do tark of salah every now and then. I'm not talking to anyone in particular. Then you are a fasiq. If you have committed a murder, you are a fasiq. Now, as the time passed on, these major sins started becoming common and common. So the word fasiq also became broader and broader. Means the committer of more major sins are fasiq, right? So ultimately, right now, if in general speech, fasiq would be a terrorist. Okay, so right now the fasiq, but according to fiqh terminology, even a person who leaves salah, who is a habitual leaver of salah, not one salah, but habitual leaver of salah, doesn't pray fajr daily, he's a fasiq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us all. And anyone who is a habitual liar is a fasiq. Anyone who is a murderer is a fasiq. Munafiq is someone who knows that I do not have iman, yet he shows that I have iman. The knowledge of nifaq is compulsory to be called a munafiq. Now, whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge me and you as well as munafiq, we do not know. Okay, but under Shari'i ruling, under the ruling of the Sharia and fiqh, the knowledge of nifaq has to be in the person. If it has been made obvious that this person is knowingly impersonating that he is a Muslim, but he is not a Muslim, he does not have iman. Okay, if it has been shown, if it has been proven, then only the ruling of nifaq will be passed on. So fasiq is simply a committer of major sin, and not minor sin but major sin. And munafiq is someone who impersonates himself as though he has iman. He shows himself, I am very muttaqi, I am very good, and in reality, not just muttaqi and good, but he has iman, but in reality he doesn't even believe. For example, I'm not munafiq, but I will tell you. Suppose I'm doing all of this, I'm talking to you all of this just because I want to become famous. Suppose, na'uzubillahi ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. But in real life, I'm not a Muslim at all. Okay, then I would be a munafiq. Na'uzubillahi ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. So that's the difference. Is soy sauce halal? I have no idea. Your view on Islamic eschatology. That's my ongoing series right now. Part 1 has come forward. Part 2 will come tomorrow. Day after tomorrow it will not come, but then it will continue. Islamic eschatology means the science of the day of judgment. Study over the science of the day of judgment. Study over the prophecies. So that's what I'm doing right now, picking over a hadith and trying to put every angle, every possible aspect to it. So I'm trying to do that, but eschatology is not a problem. But what is derived from the eschatology may be a major problem. For example, if somebody says that Dajjal, he's not a human, he's a mobile phone, because mobile phone has a camera that has one eye. Now nowadays two eye mobile phone and four eye mobile phone is coming, four camera mobile phone are coming. But anyways, then that is a problem. But if eschatology, study of the science of day of judgment and trying to understand it, is no problem at all. There is no problem in eschatology. Like fiqh is no problem in fiqh, but fiqh can be done, very bad things can be derived from fiqh if you open the door of qiyas, and people can derive very bad. There can be murders. Literally, people have fought over fiqh, right? So, is choice was halal? I have no idea over that. Malik ibn Anas. Malik ibn Anas was not a tabi. If you are trying to answer the name of a tabi, Imam Malik rahimahullah was not a tabi. His father, Anas bin Malik. This Anas bin Malik is also not the Sahabi Anas bin Malik. Imam Malik's father's name was also Anas bin Malik. His father, Anas bin Malik's father, he traveled to Medina along with the famous, that very famous person. How come I can, that very famous tabi who, Uwais al-Qarni. Okay, so Imam Malik's grandfather traveled with Uwais al-Qarni to Medina. So Imam Malik's grandfather was a tabi. Even though Imam Malik had studied under other tabi, so Imam Malik himself was atba at-tabi, not tabi. Yeah, I knew you were asking about Sheikh Imran Hussain. I have nothing against him. I have hardly heard his 3 or 4 lectures, 1 hour, I mean complete lectures. I have nothing against him, but I gave you the example. I do not find any problem in study of eschatology, but what you are saying has to have sense. Imran Hussain, I have nothing against him. I'm not saying don't listen to him as well. Okay, nothing. I'm just telling you my opinion. So, I mean, you go, and if you listen to him, if he talks sense, listen to him. If he doesn't talk sense, don't listen to him. I'm not going into the refutation culture, okay? I'm not refuting somebody. I have to be refuted far before than any other scholar of this ummah. Anyways, I would be refuted before any of these scholars in the ummah. Not I have to be. About Imran Hussain, I heard his lecture about Dajjal. That the island of this Dajjal, the island of Tamim ad-Dari, is UK. Okay,